All opinions expressed by the program participants are solely their own opinions and do not reflect the opinions of Upscale Love for You. The program participants' opinions are based on the information that they consider from their own knowledge. No expressions or accuracy is related to Upscale Love for You.
Him cheating, because there's always a cause and effect. Remember that.
Right. For every action, there's an equal or greater reaction.
That's what I'm talking about, Millie. You got it.
Everybody brought into that bullshit phrase, happy life, happy wife. Or happy wife, happy life. That's bullshit. The new one is happy spouse, happy house.
That's it. That's right.
Right. But
okay. That's it. Happy house, happy spouse. That's what's happening.
Dr. Fab, you got something? Go ahead. I'm sorry, go ahead, Chocolate Pearl.
That Chocolate Pearl, go ahead. Go ahead, Chocolate Pearl.
I mean, I know my hand is kind of with my
feet, but come on
now. The thing about it's been so long, I forgot what I wanted to say.
Well, I got mine.
Okay, about the counseling. I think it's pertinent for married relationships. I'm not sure if it's pertinent for boyfriend and girlfriend type relationships, unless they're in that process or they know they're in that process that they want to spend their life together. But if it's just a dating situation, or if it's just y'all just in a relationship, unless y'all going to become committed fully to each other, I don't really think that counseling is going to work, or be a waste of time, because of the fact that y'all not really into that relationship that you should be. I could be wrong. Now, I did do counseling when I was married, and I told him to have counseling first because he had some stuff going on with him and it was affecting our relationship. But instead, they tried to do an okie doke on me and have a couples counseling, and it wound up flipping on him. It wound up saying that he actually was the problem and he needs to get himself together. So I don't know if to me, it never resolved the situation. So I'm not sure how counseling would work for people who are almost completely out the door. If you can't, like someone said, I think before, if you can't see the issue in front of you, it's no sense of you trying to resolve anything, because it's not going to happen.
Before you 1911, go ahead, Dr. Fab.
That's right, because I definitely not gonna let him go before me. But anyway, I wanted to say this because you all were making it seem as if it's always the woman that want finer things in life. But you have
because you always bring it up.
Wait. Hold up, cousin. It's not always the woman, because I have met men who are definitely labeled. They want the finer glasses, like Gucci, like Burberry. They have to have the best glasses. You get ready to go on a cruise or whatever. You say, we could just do a little window. They say, no, I got to have a balcony or a suite. So it's not always the women.
No. And I
so
said,
how
and
do
I
they
said
obtain
that.
it?
And
how do they obtain it? That's the question. How do they obtain what they want?
What do you mean? How do they obtain? They ask it and they get it.
But that's what I'm saying.
Dr. They work for what they want.
And just
we
like
do too. Hold up
women work for what
you
they
can't
want.
work for somebody else's money.
Time out,
you can't work
time
for
out.
somebody else's income.
No.
Go ahead.
What
Go ahead.
is yours?
But they
Dr.
income
Fab
on
Anson,
you.
Dr. Fab Anson, this doesn't make for good TV. We gotta.
Okay.
Let's,
what I'm trying to tell him is.
Wait. People, y'all time out. This is America. Everything is about money, period. I mean, that's the bottom line. Everything's about money. But now, actually, when you decide to date and become committed, that's when you need counseling. You need to go through some struggles before you get married, so you won't have to do counseling at the end. Counseling at the end is,
Lord, I never thought I'd say it, but I agree with Douglas.
and that's the thing. It's like
Miss Lord.
it's not a one size fit all. It's not a one size fit all. We know dudes that are spenders, that'll just spend, and women who are good with money and are okay with basic stuff. But on average, I say again, on average, that is not the case. You have a point. There are dudes that won't go outside with anything less than wearing 2,000
Ralph Lauren from the rooter to the tutor.
And you look in their bank, you look at their bank accounts, and they got less. They got after the dot, they got so many zeros. Not in front of the dot, after the dot.
No. Some of them, now when they doing what they doing, they're a little well off. They have a little arrogance about them, you know.
But most of those cats,
members of one fraternity.
No, don't go there now. Don't go there,
Ooh,
nice one.
now see, he done crossed the line for you, didn't he?
Let's stay on topic.
Go on. But well, and saying this, Dr. Locke, did you have Papa Doc, you got something to say?
Yeah, I got something to say. So listen, if the gentleman works hard to make his lady look good, he should work hard to make himself look good too, because I don't want to dress you up and I'm stepping out the house looking like I spent it all on you and none on me.
I agree.
So,
I agree.
you know, and I also think that, listen, even if she don't have the money, she could take my money and dress me up and make
That's
me
what I'm
look
talking
as
about,
good as
Papa
her.
That
Doc.
part.
Say that
That
again.
part right there,
Say that again
Papa
for the
Doc.
people in the back.
Ooh, all right.
Yeah.
That
So,
part.
you know, you know, like, okay, I know I got a dime piece on my shoulder, but you know, I got at least be an 8 on hers. You know what I'm saying?
But that's see, but no, you have a point, but that's reciprocation.
That's right.
A lot of times, and this is what Doug and Anson are talking about. A lot of times it's one direction.
Mm-hmm.
I get a T-shirt for Christmas, but I buy you a Birkin bag.
Yeah.
I get socks on my birthday. You get a cruise.
That's not equal.
That's that's what men been talking about. It's like, you know,
it's unevenly balanced, right?
You wanna spend money. I gotta come out of pocket, but for when it's my turn, and men don't really expect stuff, but damn, show that you care. Don't give me used box and say that's a gift. Used box is not a gift.
I disagree. Even though we're off topic, but I still think that's not equal, because I feel the same way that a lot of men feel. Is I did a lot for that man, to build that man up, to make that man look good, to make that man feel good. I did everything I possibly can. I gave him 150%, but I didn't get that back. So, and a lot of relationships that I dealt with is still the similar. I don't get that back. So you can't just say it's just one-sided, because it all depends on who it is. So I feel the same thing that what Malik said, is that it's basically 50-50. If you get 50, I need to get 50. Or if you get 100, I need to get 100. But
you know, I know your situation better than a lot of
people. I was about to say, because you know, I don't.
But I'm saying
that all. I put all and somebody else is into a relationship, but I don't get it back. So, but I understand where you come from when Papa Doc said that if a man has the money to help that woman look good, he needs to do the same for him. But I feel the same for the woman. If a woman has money to make her man look good, she should do for the same for herself. So it should not be one-sided. It should always be double-sided. But that's the choice that you chose when you found that mate. When you found that mate, then when that mate came upon, you had to figure out who that mate was. And if that mate was a person that was going to be materialistic and that's what you wanted, that's what you dealt with. So don't come say that, oh, wow, he's only materialistic. No, it's not like that. So if you got with somebody that's materialistic, if you got with somebody that's plain Jane, that's who you chose.
Mm-hmm.
But at the bottom line, to fix that, if it gets to the point where you got so tired of it and you feel that that's breaking up your relationship, do you have to go to counseling for it?
Yeah, you do. You do. But go ahead, Douglas, and then I'll move on to the next question.
Let's say raw nerve and hit there. But anyway, this goes to prior communication. What are our different love languages? You might get with somebody who loves gifts. Another person don't really like gifts. But bottom line, overall, in a generalized statement, men want to provide and women want men that are providers. Well, given that, if a man can only provide at a $50,000 level and a woman is seeking $250,000 level, it's not going to work. And that needs to be discussed prior to marriage. We need to make it harder to get married instead of easier to get divorced. And like I stated, we keep talking about how to heal rifts. How about let's get to the point where how we don't develop rifts. And that comes in the beginning stages, knowing what you can do, what's expected of you. Because I want to put out a post, and like when you hear husband, what are your expectations of when you say somebody's a husband or somebody is a wife or we're in a relationship? The two people haven't got together and stated what they want together. And so that's when, it's kind of hard to say counseling for rifts. Well, what developed the rifts? And at the beginning is unexpected financial outcomes. Men, we will put something on, and if our wife or woman says, I don't like that, you be like, oh yeah? Well, what should I wear? And then it goes down that route. But overall, we don't discuss or define what we want from another person.
Understand, Miss Millie, and then Anson.
Well, as I think me as a woman, I know everything, like you say, money rules the world. But me, when I step, I'm going to step. And I want my partner, my husband, my significant other, I want him to step too. I don't want to be the finest thing that walk in the building and I have him on the side of me and I haven't prepared and have him the same, but I'm asking him what would he like to wear. He don't have to get it because I know his size from his head to his toe. I know he's an extra large. I know he's a size.
You can what?
I know what size belt he have, what size belt he wear. I could go buy his full outfit, have it laid on the side, ready to roll. Let's go. When we walk in, we look like a dime piece, not just Millie.
That's it.
And it could be my money that bought it, or it could be his money. But at the end of the day, we're both going to be straight when we walk in that building.
Because it's our money.
All right. Anson, and then I'm going to go to the next question.
One main thing on this whole little pick-me-up that we had just now is that we talk about relationships. We're not talking about someone's income. We're not talking about someone's job. We talk about how a man and a woman can work together in a relationship, not how much someone can benefit someone else.
It should be together.
Exactly.
It should be an equal yoke.
Exactly.
Togetherness
between a man and a woman. But far too often, our conversations are one-sided. That is why I have been, the other week, someone said hostility. Yes, that's why it's some hostility coming out of my voice, because it's all about what the woman can get from the man in most of our discussions. And young women, the women that are around my age group, listen to older women talk like this and think that they went through the same troubles that older women went through, and they can talk on it and demand those type of things, because they sit up here and listen to older women reflect on the things that they went through with garbage ass men. And we have to deal with that. That's where my frustration comes from, because these young girls, they ain't never had a pot to piss in, so they're talking about they want this and want that. And that is unacceptable in my eyes. That's why I said, yeah, we could break up, but I'm still gonna hit it.
Oh gosh. No, he didn't.
So
You didn't offer
let me
nothing to me but that.
let me clear this up for just a minute because I came here probably on the tail end. But once you reach a certain stage of maturity in your life, I mean, I hear what you're saying about the young women, but if you got a young girl, it's the same thing. If I got an older woman, it's the oldest to teach the youngest. So you gotta train your partner on upgrading. That's all. And you don't have to do it in a deliberate way. It's a slow, sudden way to do it. She ain't had a pot to piss in before she took her clothes off. So, but that didn't stop you. You know
All
what I
right
mean?
now.
It sure
It,
didn't,
it
and
probably
that's
wouldn't
not my
stop me
concern.
neither. But I'm just saying, you can't go back to that. After you done met her and she done took her clothes off. Now it's your job. You got to teach her how you need her to
But
be.
that's my point. The pot that she pissing in is not my concern.
Oh,
The only thing that
Okay.
the only
Well, then
thing
you
that's my concern is her, not
okay.
what she can bring to me besides her. That's my point in this discussion.
That's
We
an
talk about
interesting take.
relationship shit. We talk about relationship stuff, but we always talk about things that ain't got nothing to do with relationship, because you always go through ups and downs in a relationship. It's gonna be times where the man might be making all the money in the world and he might get laid off and now he's job hunting. And then you just sitting there jobless, reaping all the benefits. But then now that y'all are unemployed, now he is the problem. No, you the problem. Because all you've been doing is leeching the whole time. And that's what young women get their cues from older women.
but can I say something to you? And you my blood. It's the type of woman that you've dealt with, because I'm speaking from experience. My husband was in construction, and I know that in the wintertime, he couldn't do the work that he needed to get his income coming the way it's normal to lay out those checks and put the money on the bed and say, babe, do what you do. So, of course, a good woman knows how to utilize and make it so when those times come, she got his back. She can handle it all. You don't get you someone that don't know how to turn the tables and make it work for your relationship. I think that in a situation, you've been looking at women who did not come back as your counterpart to support you. Everybody needs a support mechanism. If I don't care if I got a dime and I'm in love with this man, he got 5 cents of that dime. You understand? It's called a partnership. And as Miss Millie said, when you're with this man, I'm always gonna look like $1 million ticket. Trust and believe that. And when he walk in, they're gonna say, dang, that's a sharp couple there. Because
That's
I'm
it.
gonna have him suited and booted
Go
from
ahead.
the rooter to
I'ma
the
say,
tutor.
Soon as
And
she finished 1911, go ahead.
she must have been dressing him up because he was
that's
looking
right.
out.
You already know. You already know.
Okay, in a relationship, we're seeking somebody that we like and we want something from, or what we perceive they can give us. Whether that's a dime piece on the arm or something, or for a lady, a man that can provide for her every want and need. So in a relationship, for me, you want something from the other person. But the thing is, you got to be willing to give something to the other person.
All right.
Exactly.
Because if it's in a relationship, we can be like, okay, let's pick this woman to go with this man with this woman, and be like, boom, y'all in a relationship. But that's not the way it works over here. We want somebody that looks good, and we think they can be
It's a
beneficial to
microwave
us.
in that driver's room, ain't it? It's a microwave in that driver's
Hold on, I got it. Keep going, Doug.
I mean, so we're to me, we're jumping past the starting line into personal stuff and everything. But let's set the stage of how we think it should go first. I keep hearing tail end stuff. We talking about the poop that comes out,
Yep.
but what do we eat?
Yep.
Now that goes into the health question and all that stuff. But and we see something that looks good and we can tap it, we gonna tap it. And if it's good to us, we're gonna keep tapping it, and then we find out, oh, I guess we're in a relationship. And then when it turns out that she's not feeding us on our other needs, then it becomes a problem. Therefore, that's why I keep asking, what do y'all mean when you say a problem? A problem is I'm not getting what I want. So now we got an issue.
Exactly.
And now we got to go to somebody else.
Get that aspect of what
we got to go to somebody else to help figure it out. And the dude would be like, well, I'm just rolling like I've been rolling. And the woman's like, well, I thought you should have done this. And it's like, oh, okay, you put something on me that I didn't know about.
Secret button.
A lot of other podcasts and stuff I hear that, it's like, would you self dating a man that made 50,000? And women be like, yes, because when we get together, I can help elevate him. And it's like, that's not the question. Would you settle, marry a man that only made $50,000? That's it. That's the most he's gonna ever make. And it's like, no, I can't do that. He has to be ambitious. That's what a lot of women say. Well, I left him because he wasn't ambitious enough. He wasn't on his grind. And that's their internal expectation of the person they chose. But that's not the other person's expectations or whatever they want to do. And it comes back to money. How we gonna take care of the money? If your husband was in construction, the summertime, he gonna be gone. Then women be like, well, he didn't have time to spend with me, so I found somebody who could. Well, he was on his grind because winter's coming, and the funds ain't coming in. And then in the wintertime is like, he all up on me. You need to go out and get a second job. I mean, so I can only define who I'm going to be and attract the people, the women, like, hey, this is me. This is how I roll.
No, and that makes sense, Doug. That makes sense. But I want to delve off into that, and then I'm gonna pass it over to my sister. A lot of times when we get into these, and it goes back to with these riffs, how we handle it. If we want to denigrate the person, we do sign language. I don't know if anybody heard the acronym SIGN. We try to shame the person. If shaming don't work, we insult them. If insults don't work, we guilt them. And then finally, the need to be right. Now, if you're proven you're wrong and you have to apologize, because that's the hardest thing to do, in your opinion, what do you think is a way to properly apologize? I'm gonna start, Dawn, cuz you out there, cuz I'm gonna put you into this.
I never apologize.
You never
no, I do. It depends on, I might apologize if I feel that, if I truly felt like I was wrong, like if I hurt your feelings, because I don't really want to hurt your feelings unless, so if I feel like I hurt your feelings, if I just kind of just feel that if I have some type of empathy for what I did to make you hurt, to hurt you, then I would apologize. But there are some situations where it's, things get heated and I feel like you're wrong and I might be wrong too. So I just wash my hands of it. And I that might be why I'm not in a relationship, because I am that way.
All right, Dr. Fab.
You asked.
Wait, hold up.
Hey, look, that's why I didn't want to say anything, because I'm kind of harsh, and I recognize that.
Wait, hold up, Dawn. Where you at?
South Carolina.
Oh, that's just up the road. I was gonna say,
trying to get a date in, Douglas.
Perhaps, because I'm like the same way.
Since you have opened the floodgates.
This is Upscale Love for You, the dating app coming soon.
Well, I'm going to go back a little bit since my dear cousin opened the floodgates. Earlier, someone said something about choosing the wrong person. The women who he chooses aren't basically, I guess it sounds like aren't of a particular caliber of person who is willing to be a true partner. And when that is the case, you really cannot fault someone for the way that they behave in a relationship. You need to find someone who is going to have the same values that you have. If you're someone who values someone who needs who needs someone to be a partner in a relationship, to go 100% while you go 100, because 50-50 doesn't always work. You need that person. And if you recognize that the people who you are dealing with aren't that person, then you need to that's not working for you. Find a different type of person, type of person who you sound like you want to have a relationship with. Because these other girls they're not that might be who you want, but not who you need.
All right. That was
I
great,
agree.
Dawn.
Can you cook?
Very much so.
Oh Lord.
Answer, you make
Hey,
it upscale
I'm
love for you.
gonna tell you something, like
Comfortable too.
anybody related to me can
We
burn.
all can cook and we all
Look,
look
We all can cook.
I can cook anything. I can bake anything. Anything.
Answer. Where you say you at,
Well,
Dawn?
Dawn,
And
you know
I might
that's
say-
not 100% true, Dawn.
What's that? What?
That you can cook anything.
Look, okay, so first of all, we're not going there. I was 14 years old.
Okay.
We're not going to talk about that.
That's
Just
old.
like
That's
the show
old.
And Fight Club, we're not talking about it.
Go ahead, Dr. Fab.
You were saying about apologizing, and I was like, Dawn, I need to know that I was really wrong in that situation in order for me to apologize. But
Right.
I will apologize now. The way in which I do it, I may do it in a different manner. I don't necessarily have to say it in words. Sometimes you can have that reaction, or you know how you can smooth them up, and tell them
Look at
it's
Ann.
okay. But sometimes it just you have to know that you were really wrong about a situation before you get that.
Right.
I apologize. I very seldom say I'm sorry.
Right.
I'll say I apologize. Mm-hmm.
Anson,
Well,
if you could have saw
for
your
me,
face just now.
for me, this is Dawn again. For me, I try to not be in a position as to where I have to apologize, or even the person who I'm, in a relationship where they even have to apologize.
Mm-hmm.
Quite often, like, we have a voice in our head that tells us when we're getting ready to go too far. Mm-hmm. And I honestly try to listen to that voice, and my cousins they'll attest. There are times when I would rather say nothing than to get into it, because it's not worth it. Earlier, someone said, would you rather be happy or would you rather be right? And I don't always have to prove that I'm right. I can know that you are dead wrong, but there's a way for me to be able to express that I don't agree with you. I don't, without getting into a situation where I'm apologizing and you're apologizing, because it's not that, most things to me aren't that important.
All right.
Oh, go ahead, Dr. Lark.
I just think that the best apology is change behavior. Like, yes, you can tell me, I apologize for slapping the shit out of you. But if you slap me again and you apologize again, it doesn't mean anything.
What if I change it to a punch? Is that okay?
No,
I'm done.
Doug, I was gonna say you was doing good tonight. God dog it. No,
He just messed
We're gonna have
up.
to cut Richardson off.
No, but what she stated, change behavior.
Yeah.
That's a change behavior. He went from slapping you,
as in not doing what you did that was, a transgression against me.
Well, see, that's a lot of times you gotta state specifically, because you said change behavior. I was hitting you with the open hand. Now I changed my
No,
behavior.
I hit it's a hit.
Actually,
When you lay your hands on me to harm me, it's a hit.
I gotta call BS on that one. That's not a change behavior. That's a change act. That's a change method of execution.
Exactly.
That's something to get you killed.
Thank you.
That's something to get you killed.
But
Just
here
kill you now. So
here we go again. We talked about a person's action being right or wrong. It's like, okay, what defines that? It's simply like you did something that I didn't like. That doesn't mean the person is wrong. It just means that that person did something you didn't like. And now that's the time to talk about stuff. We're not talking about domestic violence here. We just
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we talked about that a couple
I use an extreme. I just use an extreme.
Right. I know, but I'm just stating. You know, you put sugar on grits. That's wrong.
Yeah, in my book it is.
Yeah, you know, but you go to other parts of the U.S. That's right. So I'm just stating that we always say things like, "Well, who was right or wrong?" Nobody. It's just a misunderstanding, or they're not meeting our unexpressed expectations, which causes the rift because we don't truly know how to communicate with one another.
But I think if what you did hurt me in some way, like if you hurt my feelings in some way,
by doing a certain action, it's like, okay, it's either I can change my ways or you need to grow up and see
I can help you change them.
I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. It's just that you have an expectation that I did a certain thing that you don't like, and based on some childhood experience, that's where the feelings and emotions are coming from, where you feel how you feel. I didn't do anything wrong. I'm just being me. And that's why I'm going back to the communications and the way Dr. Lark just like his stuff is like, oh, no, he didn't. But all I'm getting is that we are who we are and we do what we do, and we got to communicate. Be like, he's like, well, you know, you hurt my feelings on that. It's like, well, no, I didn't. But you need to say you're sorry. I didn't do anything wrong.
Well, that's different. When and I look at it like this. An apology is kind of like how many people in here have read the Bible? I'm sure
not the whole thing.
Not the whole thing, but
parts of it. Yeah.
You know, you look at it in the thing of repentance, understanding, hey, there was something that happened that injured or perceived to be injured. Like you said, you might not have thought you was wrong, but that doesn't stop the action from injuring somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You recognize that, saying, hey, I'm sorry, Douglas, that I called your fraternity colors ugly. I'm not wrong, but those are my school colors.
This is what I kind of figured out. This is what I figured out. I want you guys to think about this in this conversation. What prolongs it, whether the person that did it, the person that didn't like it, a lot of us as adults have not let go our pettiness towards our other people, our other mankind. A lot of stuff happens on your reaction because of your own pettiness. Some stuff you could just let it go, but you can't let it go because you got this pettiness in you that takes you to a whole nother level, that takes a situation to a whole nother level.
You have to learn to choose your battles.
Look, hey, the truth is not welcome here.
Right, exactly. Even though you was right, I'm still gonna backhand the shit out you. You know what I'm saying? Right. Exactly.
I learned a long time ago. I learned a very long time ago that it's never about right or wrong. It's all about what side you're on.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Never ever is about right or wrong. It's always about what side you're on.
Because I realized that I could be, my family can attest, I could be very petty at times. And that ain't a good look. That is not a good look. But as I got older and realized that my words have meaning, and if somebody somebody trusts you and you just you betray that trust, or inadvertently or on purpose, you still got to realize that, hey, my actions caused this, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to acknowledge it, and this is what I'm going to work on so that won't happen again. And that's, and that's when healing starts. Because a lot of times, like Papa Doc said, we do a lot of stuff, pettiness, and like you said, Doug, because we ain't healed.
It comes from our childhood, things in our life. It could be from childhood, could be like Doug said, a past relationship. Papa Doc said it. It could be from a past relationship, and something would trigger it at that moment, and you didn't even realize it triggered it, but you said something that could offend the next person and not even realize it offended them because you have never discussed it, because that situation have never occurred before.
I agree 100%.
But we have to be willing, once it occurs, to communicate to get through it. Instead of throwing dots at each other, we have to communicate about it to get through it.
It's easier to throw darts at each other because it's fun.
See,
no, and plus, did you just took me as a punk or something? You think I'm weak or something, or soft? So when you think somebody think you weak or you soft, then you got to come back in some type of
dagger.
With the dagger, right?
Mm-hmm. And that is 100% true. But I'm going to close it out because we're getting close on time, and I gotta let my superstar get her words in. So go on, Chocolate Pearl. It is on you, girl.
Chocolate Pearl.
Chocolate Pearl. Thought y'all forgot about me at one point.
No, I got you.
Okay, so I'm gonna combine two of my questions together so we can hurry up and get this over with. But what makes you want to go back after breaking up? And I'm going to add one of my questions into that. Would it be three of these questions? Three of these options, or would it be all of them? Financially, children, or love?
It'll be a little bit of some, all of it.
You probably forgot one. Security. Security. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You realize you stepped out there, you broke up, but you got out there, maybe you couldn't find nothing that was anything similar to what you had, and you felt more secure with that particular person. So that probably drove you back.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I think every situation is situational, because every woman that I met, they bring something different to the table, meaning spiritually, sensual, the way they are. Everybody's different. So it's all about chemistry, wholesomeness, and what you got in common and what you don't have in common. So it's just a mixture of love will do it, because it's one of the powerful forces of all. Love definitely would do it, and maturity would do it too, and wisdom would do it. So it's so much that will do it, that will bring you back to someone that you feel is the love of your life, especially if she's climbing over your fence as well as you climbing over her fence. Because a lot of times, we often love Chocolate Pearl, but love don't love us back. So we have to, when you find someone who's willing to do anything to be your everything, you better focus on that. You better focus on that, because that comes like a dime a dozen. It's not like it's something that happens every day. So when you find that honey bunny or that nice gentleman that can that brings that ultimate, it's a feeling. Because a lot of women asked me years ago, many times, what is it about her that's different from her? What made you go for her and not her? It's a mix. Everybody got some good in them. Everybody know that, Dr. Feel Good. So it's just what that you feel that makes your hands get sweaty, that makes you want to hear that voice. It's something about that woman that brings you peace. Everybody know that keyword, peace. So everybody's looking for that. So when you find that, you better take heed to it.
Make them toes, girl.
What part of that would actually get you to take that person back? because you broke up with them for whatever reason. It could be the stupidest reason on earth, but what brought you to your senses? Okay,
love,
I want to go
and
back because I don't have this, or I want to come back because of this situation that I'm going through.
I think what will bring you back is the difference. And like they always say, the grass is green on the other side, but it ain't always greener, because you can fertilize what you got and make that grass greener. You know what I mean? So it's all about what you feel. And once you get out there and see, man, it ain't, you know, check out this key word I learned years ago. It's right here. It's not what you gaining, it's what you losing. Remember that.
Okay.
Remember that now.
Yeah. Sometimes you realize that you were wrong.
Well, if I'm wrong about why we broke up, and she still sees the quality in me, you know what I mean? Deep down, she sees I got a good heart. I'm not a bad guy. You know what I'm saying? And she's got loving forgiveness in her heart where she can forgive me because, hey, God forgave us. So, and I don't do things stupidly over and over again. I made a boo-boo, and she know I'm a quality gentleman. You know what I mean? Then she'll accept me back. And then, like I said, we often love, but love don't love us back. So once you get somebody who really understands you and you understands them, then, you know, you cook it with butter.
Cooking with butter.
You cooking with butter.
I like margarine.
No, that's for us poor folks in the back.
I can't
that's
believe it's
for.
not butter.
that's for us poor folks that don't know nothing about cooking oil. Yeah, you know, that's what that's for.
You get my drift.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Dr. Lark.
Because if you were the person that messed up the relationship, sometimes you want to go back just to fix it because you know that you were wrong, or you know that you were the demise of the relationship. Like, you know, after we talked about going to counseling. So let's say you're separated, right? And you go through counseling, and then you may decide to get a divorce, or maybe not. Just maybe you just separate for a long period of time. And then you realize, hey, you know, I was wrong about this. I shouldn't have been out with my married boyfriend again, right, Dr. Fab? And so I was wrong about that. And I was disrespectful to my spouse and to our marriage. And I realized that I was wrong. I just was wrong. So you might want to go back because, you know, you do have a family, you do have children, you do have, you know, you interacting with each other's families, and there's a lot more there than that's bigger than the
got more to lose and guilt.
Listen, I want to clear this up now. She wasn't saying that Dr. Fabulous got a married boyfriend.
No,
that was just something I got choked
that's
on.
what I heard. Yeah, I was like, oh, Dr. Fabulous, you got married. I thought I heard that.
So no, okay. I got choked the other week when she said she might have wanted a married boyfriend. So men, women, boys, and girls out there in TV land, I don't have a married boyfriend, please.
Dr. Fabulous does not have a married boyfriend.
Thank
Dr.
you.
Lark may or may not.
Oh my God.
Oh, okay.
Does anybody else want to answer that question? Oh, I'm sorry. I see you, Douglas. I apologize. Go ahead, Speedy.
Okay, I have to read the question, evaluate it and stuff, and then it goes down to what makes you want to go back after breaking up? Were you the initiator or on the receiving end of the breakup? That was one of my questions. Huh?
It could be either one. What would make you want to go back? So even if you are the initiator where you broke up, why would you want to go back? What would be a reason for you to go back? Because earlier people were saying,
I really didn't have an answer, but I was like, why go back? If it's done, it's done.
Right, I was gonna say some people earlier said that, you know, when it's over, it's over. But there are a lot of people who, once they broke up, they realized, like Dr. Lark said, they realized, wait a minute, or what Malik said, that grass is not as green on the other side.
Right. You know, my overall answer is, what caused the breakup? That's one question that I would need answered first. But I was going to drill down to love. That I was going to state that love is an action verb, and it's something that you give.
Mm-hmm.
And so, okay, Okay, I just wanted to state that, but why does all that go into my answer? That your question gives me more questions than answers. But the fact that the relationship ended, I need to know the factors because that will go into whether we reconcile or not. But for me overall, something is over, then it's just that it's over. You see in all the movies, every time somebody goes back for just one more time, they get killed. So, why go back? Put the effort in to not to break up in the first place. I rambled on that. Next person,
did,
please.
Douglas. You've been rambling.
Yeah.
Next person.
Anson, give me your.
In 2 minutes
My
or less.
answer to the question, well, the answer to the first question would be I wouldn't go back. Like I said earlier, because we broke up for a reason. I don't want to experience the same thing again. I know why we broke up the first time. But if I had to choose one of the three options, well, y'all damn sure know I wouldn't choose financial. And
We got that. I think we got that.
And
everybody knows that.
And it's no way in hell I ever get back my son's mama. So by default, it would have to be love.
All right.
Okay. Miss Millie, and then Dawn.
I would go back for love because when I love hard. I give all. I put all in it, and I try to cross all my dot all my I's and cross my T's and try. And then sometimes we fall short. We do. I guess I'm a dominant person, so I have to pull back and reserve and learn not to speak all the time of whatever some of the things I'm thinking. So I would definitely go back for love because I love that person and I would want to try to see if there's a way for us to rekindle it. Then once we can't rekindle it, it'll be over.
You're gonna beat them up again.
I ain't gonna beat nobody. Quit saying that.
I just want to add.
You sound like you beat your men. That's all I'm saying.
No, I don't put my hand on nobody. No, because I don't want nobody to put their hand on me.
Okay, someone had her hand up. Let's let Dawn.
I agree with Douglas. I wouldn't go back. Love, no love, I wouldn't go back. I might regret it, but you get over that. Mm-hmm. And someone earlier said there's, everything has their season. And once that season's over, it's over. No hard feelings, when it's done, it's done. And I also believe that if you broke up once for whatever reason, that reason is usually still there, and it's going to pop up at some point in the new relationship. So why put yourself through that? And that might be pessimistic or glass half empty or whatever, but unless it's 20 years down the road, if it's like a couple months, a year or so, you're basically still the same people and you still have the same baggage and experiences that you had 6 months ago. So I don't see where it would be a waste of time. But that's, in my opinion, it would be a waste of time because we're going to break up again, probably for the same thing.
Yep.
Okay, Douglas, you had something to say?
Well, yeah, I was going to say a fourth reason to consider is family. When you say children, that doesn't count the adults in the relationship. That's just your offspring together. But these are things that you should consider before you actually break up. Because like stated, once it's done, it's done.
I'm a type of person that... Go ahead.
No, but I am it's coming up with two things about relationship. Are you going to be a construction worker / builder or a sculptor? The builder brings pieces together to build something, and the sculptor chips away to produce something. So you gotta see with your other person, do you need to build them up or do you need to take away from stuff? And then my next question was like, Don, are you a Gemini? You sound like a Gemini.
No, she's not. Okay.
And I already told you, Upscale Love for You got that app on its way. You got to hold on for that app.
Well, no, because some of her questions are answers are similar to mine, and I'm a Gemini, and I was like, okay,
I'm a Gemini too, and me and you don't match too well. Okay.
Moving right along.
Hey, well, that just means you're yin and I'm yang.
I wanted to answer my own question. I would go back for love. However, I have this tendency where it was a guy I was messing with, and we would go back and forth. It seemed like we would break up every other day because he says I went left on him. And I'm a type of person, I'm real passionate about certain things, as most of y'all learned. And it got to the point, to me, it was a game where he was like, you know what? You just live your life. You good, be good. I said, oh, okay, well, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Because I knew the next day it wasn't gonna be back together. So it was no sense, you know? So it became a game. It was just, to me, that's the type of person who gives up so quickly. But if you are the person who picked that person and learn their habits, you know that they're not serious. They're just talking out of anger. So you wouldn't necessarily really break up. But I'm a type of person, I try to work it out as much as possible, find every angle to keep it together, because when I'm going to let you go, I'm going to let you go, because I actually moved out of a state to be away from someone. You know, I've actually, you know, completely cut them and the family off to be away from that person. So I try to give every avenue, I try to count every number. I go from alpha to omega, from omega back to alpha, just to make sure, is this going to be it? Is going to be it. I don't want it back. I'm done. So I am a person who tries to work it out as much as possible, even till the wheels fall off. And even when the wheels fall off, I try to stick some glue or some bubble gum on it and call it, you know, and try to make it work. If it doesn't, that's it. But so saying that, instead of you answer that question, answer this question. And I know you got one real quick. How many times would you go back after you made the initial breakup?
I mean, never, none. I mean, not once, because I look at it like this. What I was gonna say, why I had my hand up, was whatever the reason I would go back would keep me with them in the first place. So, you know, if that was a desire, I would have had it already.
Okay. Anybody else want to chime in on that one real quick? Yes, Dr. Feelgood.
I say faux, and I spell faux F-O-H. You know what F-O-H means?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Got it. Hey, got it. Yeah. But I have a story that because she said something about going back. I kind of went back 15 years later, and going back 15 years after we broke up was a more mature relationship, and actually I was probably more in love with her the second time than I was the first time. So if I had a gap and we both had time to grow and, you know, mature, you know, it was better. It was better after 15 years. So.
Yeah, that's what I said earlier with one of Dr. Fabulous's questions, is that the time where I dated somebody when I was like 19, 20, and 30 years later, I started dating him again. And in between that, he and I both matured. So we learned things, and we learned to appreciate our value that we can give in a relationship. I also seen a movie, the same similar thing. They was married, broke up, later on got back together, and then lasted because matured. They wasn't as selfish, or they wasn't felt they wasn't going to be too independent type thing, that they can actually let someone else take control, or let someone else do this and let someone else do that. So yeah, I think when you break up with somebody, it should be based on maturity as well as love. It could be financial as well, but that's materialistic. But I think, once you mature and realize what you broke up for, and if it was something that you can't get over, then stay away. But if it's something that you can get over and you feel it was just a little minor issue, I feel that, yeah, okay, go back. But how many times would you go back? Like my cousin said earlier, if you did something that I didn't like and I went back with you again, you might keep doing that same thing over and over again. And so why would I keep going back? Why would I keep going back? But people continuously go back because of the security, or because of the children, or because of, they foolishly in love because they're in love with a different type of aspect of how they feel love is. Some battered women continuously go back, after they've been battered multiple times, because they feel that that's what the security, or that's all they know. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of times that people go back. But for people who don't have all those issues, how many times would you actually go back? I know a lot of us are saying, oh, one time is enough. We're not going back no more. That once it's over, it's over. But a lot of people don't feel that way. Go ahead, Douglas.
Okay, I'm sure they never as good as the first time. But there again, I'm like, we didn't answer the question of why did we break up to begin with? Because that has to do with the possibility of going back. And I'm just like, high level on your the battered woman syndrome about her going back, but did they actually break up, or did she just leave to catch a breather? You certain phrases and stuff I have to have defined before I can really answer that.
You're gonna have to answer that next week.
Yeah, there are women who actually go back, actually left them, and then maybe months later went back because of certain securities.
Right, and then the stuff the little that I know on the subject, like, well, he said he was going to change, so I'm gonna give him another chance. So they went back because of the other party stating that they're going to change, and then they don't, and they leave again, and then it's a cycle. But man, I was in another group where we used to have we had an 8-hour Zoom call. Y'all trying to jump on out.
Okay, well, Douglas, everybody can't stay up all night long, but I'm gonna jump in here right now and tell each and every one of you, I have enjoyed you all immensely. And don't let this be your first or your last time, Douglas, coming back. Papa Doc, all of you. I am so excited that you all came. I'm going to let my guest co-host say her goodbyes, and then Dr. Feelgood and all that good stuff. But next week, we have a dynamic treat for you. Dr. Fabulous won't be here. I will be definitely cruising, having me some wonderful spring break fun. And I'm going to introduce my guest co-host for next week. That's the one, the only Dr. Lark. Can you just give a little wave to him, Dr. Lark? I will have Dr. Lark, Chocolate Pearl, and of course, we'll never forget that sexy, smooth voice of Dr. Feelgood. But I'm going to turn it back over to Dr. Feelgood to say his good nights, and then Chocolate Pearl.
K-A-Y?
Hey, achievement over friendship. Hey, I want to thank each and every one of the people that came on tonight for the dynamic and contentious at times conversation. But it's the only way we get the things moving. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. I hope y'all come back. Hey, we're only getting better and better. And like Dr. Fabulous said, we are only going in one direction, and that's forward. Be mindful. Tomorrow night is Dr. Fab and Mr. Razzle Dazzle, Mr. Malik. They have scorebiggerdating.com which is on you can see it on Facebook Live, you can see it on YouTube Live. They on StreamYard, so if you get there early, they can only take a few people, but the conversation is live. Mr. Malik keeps it hopping and popping, and y'all just continue to go forward. And I look forward to Dr. Lark doing her thing next week. She's very smart, very good. She has a 50-pound brain, and of course the Chocolate Pearl.
50-pound brain.
Hey, Chocolate Pearl. She's my sister with the same Mister.
And mama.
Sister with the same Mister. What?
Yeah, we got the same dad. We got the same daddy and the same
and mama.
Oh, okay.
So I want to thank